And I was just asking
Sheriff is my name.
Sheriff, why isn't this open to other networks to key into?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when you hear a president is going to grant an interview, it's like waiting for an eclipse to happen. It's a big event. But we'll see what he has to say. My thinking is that the interview might be short. It could jolly well just take place at the airport. I don't know how it's going to go, because he's going to Yaba, and from there he's going to Apapa. Now, as at this morning, when Philip was coming, he gave me a report that all the roads leading to Apapa have been cleared. So it could happen. If it can happen, because the president is coming in today, a minimum demand in Lagos is that what is accorded the president in that light should also be accorded to the citizens. If you could clear Apapa, because the president is coming there, you could do so likewise for the benefit of the citizens. But then again, this is Nigeria. Things like this hardly ever happen. We said it's going to be met by Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Minister for Transportation, Gbemisola Saraki. And then he will go to Ebute Metta, and from there he's going to go to Apapa. My take is, I hope you know, I think the presidential guest house is in Dodan Barracks. If there's a need for him to refresh or whatever, it means he might also come to Lagos Island. So the truth is, if you don't have much to do, if it's not so important for you, you might want to stay off the streets for on a day like this. And then it looks as if rain is still threatening. I'd like planners of these events, to have an all, well-rounded thought when you are organizing things like this, and take the plight of our citizens into consideration. I think it's rather unfair that whilst the president is coming to inaugurate a railway service that will be beneficial to the people and so on and so forth, it could have been done on a Sunday, or at the very least on a Saturday, not a working day, and then you now close some roads, you close some whatever. At a time when our economy is going through a complete downturn, this is the last thing you want to happen. This is the very last thing you want to happen. But congratulations, Nigerians. Some of you will be seeing trains for the first time. So, well, I can tell you that I grew up in trains, because the house where I grew up in Yaba was very close to railway compound. Oh, memories of that. Sometimes, you see, that's why those of us who are a bit older sometimes get so agitated when we have memories of what Nigeria used to be.
It's torturous.
It's torturous, yes, you can say that again.
Let's go to Vanguard newspaper, page 5 of the Vanguard. Twitter reached out. 6 top-level talks. Lai Mohammed.
All kinds of things have been happening. I understand Dubani is going to go to court. By the way, Jason have lifted the strike. So there are now courts that we can go to, to express and seek legal advice on these matters. But Twitter has reached out, according to Lai Mohammed, and I'm not surprised that there's a common interest in these things. Both sides are incurring losses in terms of in terms of finances and in terms of goodwill. But it will be sorted out. I don't want us to go into too much of a panic situation. It will be sorted out. It's all politics. People are getting themselves into a frenzy. Even those who don't have Twitter handles are getting themselves into a frenzy. And I say that, look, it's all part of the game. The whole idea, at the end of it all, even though it was handled badly in the first instance, at the end of it all, the whole idea is for us to have a secure, a secure Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever, social media, to have a secure social media. Because it's not, ironically, people think that it's just the government. Even individuals have been affected by the fake news, the lack of certain control on Twitter. People don't like to hear that word. But, hey, our lives are controlled. That's why we have a constitution. If you say we have a democracy and we have a constitution that guides our daily lives, why would you feel so bad about having something that guides the use of Twitter and other in the social media? It can't be a free fall. And I just want to reiterate that I have never advocated or said that, I support knocking Twitter out completely. Of course not. But what I'm saying is that it gives us an opportunity to put some, and other countries do it. India, name it, even the United, every other countries. It's not a free fall. I keep maintaining that. If you have a constitution, even within these premises, if I feel pressed now, I'm not going to go and wee in the reception. I'm guided to a toilet by regulation. So that's what it is. And I think the less people excite themselves, about these things, the better it will be. I'm a bit worried about the mental health of our people, where it looks as if 24/7, you stick to the media and are discussing issues. I think people should find a little time to discuss their individual development too. That's an advice. You're free to take it, you're free to abandon it.
All right. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 on the super platforms. Page 10 of the Vanguard has a story here. Igongon killings. Buhari's silence is dangerous. Buddy George. The riders don't wait for police or Amotekun before defending yourselves. Ninas tells Yoruba people. Fish out perpetrators. MSSN tells FG.
Thank you very much. I don't think it's just the president that is complicit in this silence. I think a lot of us are, in the sense that this is the first time that you almost have an authenticated incident of these kind of killings. And it almost begins to lend credence to the stand of some Yoruba leaders who call for this and call for that. And again, it's sad that the president hasn't issued any statement on these killings. It is also sad that the authorities, the police, the security, whatever, have not given us the full facts as to what actually took place. But the videos making the rounds this time around seem authentic. What you see in the video is frightening. To anybody who has a perspective of the things that might come from that video, it is quite significant enough for the president to have issued a statement. In fact, personally by him. It doesn't help that the people being accused, of these killings are of his own extraction. And these are sensitive times. And I think the president should have been advised, and then this is the first time I'm actually seeing Chief Buddy George, getting involved in an issue like this. It shows you that it's getting very, very close to the edge of the cliff. The unity of this country is hanging in a balance. And, issues like this should not be treated with disdain or with contempt. It is important that those who are in areas of responsibility, handle these things with the sensitive whatever that it deserves. So far, the governor has been trying. But you can see, even from his own body language, you can see a sense of defeat and a sense of isolation on his part. And that doesn't go down too well. It is unfortunate that this government, some of the things that they do, which in the first instance, some of the things that they do are handled in a manner that makes people lose confidence in what they're doing. In the Twitter issue, for example, you made it look as if it was a retaliatory issue, whereas the truth is you've been having security concerns, like every other leader in the world. Every other government in the world have been having concerns, but you made it look as if it's because he deleted. What I would have said is that when the president's tweet was deleted, whatever action you wanted to take, you should have tarried a while so that there's no link or nexus in what in the thing that you want to do. The Nigerian government has to be careful, as headed by Buhari, has to be very, very careful, with these things. And but I would rather, like I said, I think we've come to know the government for what it is. We've known their limitations and so on and so forth. Rather burn energy on trying to turn them around and start looking out for who is going to take over this country in 2023. And when I heard Kenneth, reveal, for example, that the primaries are next February, we really don't have that much time. And then, as we speak, there's nothing in the horizon except one man. And he seems ever ready marching to go. His vehicles are all over the place. His adverts will soon come out. If he's going to be the sole candidate, so be it.
All right. We're staying with the Vanguard, page 8 this time. All existing duly issued tinted permits remain valid, says IGP.
Well, yes, this concerns motorists. What is it? Because what I thought I read a few days ago was that all the tinted permits were cancelled. I thought that was the implication, but no. If you had a valid tinted permit, it's a new set of permits that would not be issued as we speak. Also, there's this there's this problem you have at all times determining what exactly is a tinted glass, that is allowed, and because what you do have is most cars are coming these days because they're coming in from the United States. Most of them are heavily, kind of tinted, to prevent the sun and whatever. And therefore, as soon as you get your particulars, you get a tinted permit, And I'm sorry to let you know that the guy at the other end signing is just signing it up. He doesn't even know who it is. It just comes with your particulars. And that's the lie that we've been living. There is a sense of, some of the things are they're so dark you can't even see who is sitting inside. And I wonder what benefit it is to the person.
Some are artificial. Some came with
or we could say added. They're like an added thing.
And some are factory made like that. Some are like there's this film that they now paste on the.
Let me use the local language so that people will understand. Some now follow come.
Follow come. Yes.
Follow come. Some now follow come. And some, but in all honesty, I've always wondered why would you want to tint yourself out of? You don't want people to see you for what?
Maybe the sun.
What kind of sun? I better go sit down.
Maybe the sun.
Well, what about the man working in this who doesn't have a car and is working?
That's the man.
That one go
that's the man. That one can afford to work. Some people can't afford the rays on their skin.
It's part of our culture. What is going to happen is some people will still find a way, to get this new permit just to show.
Yes, they will.
Yes, just to show.
IGP has said so many things in the past and it didn't take effect.
He talked about covered number plates, as he saw a vehicle with covered number plates yesterday. And it's an elite that do all this nonsense anyway. And in Nigeria, some people are above the law. I think it's a reality we have to face.
Benny. Let's go to the Punch newspaper, page 7. Judiciary workers suspend strike, berate El Rufai, Autumn Lalong.
Okay, leave El Rufai, Autumn Lalong out of it and just, be joyous that the courts are now going to be open. So, and it's been hell for some people. Some people have been arrested, and they up till now they can't even get bail or whatever it is. So our courts are back. The strike has been suspended. And this story here says that the workers will go back to the offices on Monday. There was a communique yesterday, and they said they're going to go back on Monday. Then the union commended the CGN, Chief Justice, and the heads of courts for their patience and understanding, throughout the strike. But it expresses its displeasure with El Rufai, Lalong, and Autumn for withholding the salaries of judiciary workers in their respective states. Let them just pay them. I think we have enough crisis on our hands than to add this. And for us to also know, when things like this happen, when our egos were all being ego-driven, it's the grass that suffers, and that's a common man. Some people have been arrested for some offenses that are not true, whatever, and they're still languishing in jail. Oh, no, they don't call them jail now. They call them correctional centers.
Yes.
But prison, I beg.
Okay.
Yes, now. What's the English to say? It's a correctional center. What do you now say? How would you... What better word would you give one in Yoruba?
It's prison.
Well, Yorubas either call it one if you don't think bewa.
But my own thing about this judiciary thing is the people have left the judiciary workers, the judiciary as a whole, on their own.
Yes, they banned them to the Philistines.
We're very quick to say that judiciary is the last hope of the common man, and our governors are there playing almighty, saying that stalling and stalling, giving their own terms. When the Constitution has spelled out exactly.
Even the common man, I expected other unions to have joined them long time ago because it's quite significant. But we are always selfish in our thoughts. We always, just because most of the people on the outside, I don't have any case with government, whatever. We're always selfish in our thoughts. We don't think in common terms. We don't think of the common man. We're always selfish in our thoughts. And a lot of advocates and whatever, they just petered over it. We hardly heard anything from them.
2 months.
Yes.
2 months. How do you have your courts closed for 2 months?
For 2 months.
Wow. We're going to flip to page 16 now. Abaribe kicks Senate screens Buhari's aide, others as INEC commissioners. That's a punch.
No, this is very untidy. And let me tell you what I mean by untidy. In putting names forward for as electoral commissioners, this government put forward the presidential aide, Loretta Anoche, put her name forward. You don't do that. This has nothing to do with the person of Miss Onoche. It has nothing, but it has to do with the principle. How can the president's SSA now become an electoral officer? It's not done. But I don't know why the government is being so stubborn about this. It is not done. It is not done. People will bring all kinds of arguments. It is untidy. It is not done. An electoral officer is supposed to be untainted politically.
A neutral
person. So how can you convince those who are going to take part in elections in our area, whichever state she's
It's called an umpire for a reason. How does Loretta Anoche qualify
it's not
as
done.
an umpire?
It's not done. And like I said, very quickly, it has nothing to do with her person.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But you might as well put Lai Mohammed forward as an electoral officer in the state or let him head INEC. It's not done.
Another question is...
to add to that is that she's the spokesperson of the president.
Exactly.
Why do we do these things? Do we need to be told? It's not done. It is untidy. And this is going to put a cloud on the electoral process in 2023. If this is what is happening now, then you would not blame anybody for thinking that you might not have a fair election in 2023.
Let me tell you some of the questions I've heard ever since this came up. Is that only God knows, and those that have done it or might have done it knows a number of people from the ruling party that are in INEC right now. Playing critical roles.
Your guess is as good as mine.
INEC.
But when you now take a visible person like the spokesperson of the president and want to force her through to become an INEC commissioner, what the body language you get from the APC in that manner, and indeed the presidency, is that you guys can go to hell.
I think INEC needs independence. INEC should be able to decide who they want to hire or fire. That power should be removed from the presidency to start with, because it's an umpire. That power should be given to the National Assembly.
Look, let's be fair. We've had 20 years of this. Former presidents have been fair in this dispensation. Why is this one now different? I mean, every day that this thing happens, I begin to give more and more credit to President Jonathan. He was a fair person. I mean, he handled quite a number of things badly due to his own limitations. But his mind, he had a very good mind and spirit. I don't know. This is.
It's just like saying, go and do whatever you want to do.
You can do what you like. Yes.
Just go do what. This is the person we. What? How do you do that?
And this idea is not reflect. This is the perception that people have of this government across the board. Across the board. And so what it does is that it tends to taint the things, the good things that the government. Because look, I had a discussion with some of the what you might call the pro-Buhari people, and I said to them, stop bringing up other issues when we talk about some issues. What is okay? Infrastructural development, is that the only thing we are going to put on our table? These things are causing rift amongst our people, like not having somebody from the southeast in the security infrastructure and things like this. They cause more turbulence than the benefits you get from any infrastructural development you're putting up. You have a good agri policy. Who can go to the farm now? People need to get these things right. Now, with this, if this woman says through, you already have a dark spot on the elections in 2023. And look at the way our country is now before the elections. And then imagine when electoral issues now come up. With the former SSA to the president being an electoral commissioner. And imagine what kind of confidence you want. What it means is that this government is showing that it has no regard for the people.
Absolutely. That's what it means. That's what it means.
It's not good, though. It's not looking good.
It's wrong.
It is not. This time around, I have to, first of all, plead with them that, look, we have a burning fire already. Don't start throwing grenades into this burning fire and set this country aflame. It is not right. It is not fair.
Okay, let's take this one last headline before we go. EFCC nabs father, son for alleged internet fraud in Lagos.
I had to bring this up for us to, as we can see, I feel so sad about this. This man, the gentleman hasn't been found guilty, but the thought behind the story is disturbing. And you ask yourself, what are the values that we have here? So what has happened? There's this young man called Malik Bakari. He was apprehended by the EFCC. So why was his father apprehended? When Malik Bakari, when the police visited him, EFCC and so on and so forth, they found a Range Rover SUV that was retrieved from him. The Range Rover cost about 46 million. 46 million. The father came over and claimed ownership of the vehicle.
Oh.
Okay, she said, okay, so you own this vehicle, 46 million. Yes, okay. Can we see your bank statements? Of course, it didn't tally. Where is the Nigeria that I grew up in when you would go home with something that was far above your legitimate income, and your parents would either kick you out or be the ones to go to the police station to report you? Where has that Nigeria gone? Like the famous Yoruba proverb, your son is not a watchman, but he's coming home with a bundle of clothes, different sizes, colors, shapes, and whatever. And he's not a watchman. And the significance of that proverb is that you keep an eye on your child, and once you see something untoward, where has that Nigeria gone? The story here says that the suspect's father was also arrested when he came forward to claim ownership of a Range Rover SUV that was retrieved from his son without the proof of ownership. During the investigation, his father, that is Issa Bakari, appeared at the commission claiming ownership of a Range Rover estimated at 46 million, which was recovered from his son. He, however, could not give a satisfactory account of how he was able to procure the vehicle. But please remember that Malik Bakari has not been found guilty. He's just a suspect. But again, the safest thing to say that it doesn't smell good.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Jimmy, we must go right now. We have to go.
Yes.
What's coming up?
9 o'clock, I'm trying to get a psychiatrist, to educate us on, we discussed this, I think, on Tuesday, about, the effect of getting addicted to these issues. Some people are so addicted from morning till night. They sit on the radio, they go to social media, and it's an addiction that has to be handled carefully.
That's right.
Because there are a lot of mental issues associated with it. So I'm trying to see if I hope I can get her eventually, and for 30 minutes, and then we'll take questions and answers from people.
Fantastic, Jimmy. Thank you for coming around.
God bless you.
Many thanks to MTN. I'm Sheriff Quadry. We're back in a moment.
You've waited so long, and now the doors are wide open for you to join MTN.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.